Hello my loves, welcome to my channel. This is Tarot and Ink and I am Kaz. I've got a slightly different setup this time round, and we're going to be doing your love reading for the season of Taurus. I'm going to break you off into 4 groups, which is fire signs, so Aries, Leo, Sag, water signs, Capricorn, nope, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, earth signs, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, and then air, Libra, Aquarius, Gemini. It was inevitable within the first couple of seconds. I was gonna muddle something up in terms of get my words all confused, I should say. So yeah, obviously this is for Taurus season 2026, but it is a timeless reading. So please take what resonates, leave what doesn't. You know the score. I hope something in this reading will be really helpful to you. I'm going to be using my Taurus, that's a very naked card, there we go, Taurus tarot deck. I'm going to be using the fairy cards, goddesses, gods and guardians. I'm going to be pulling an angel card for you guys as well. We'll get these out now. Hidden Truth deck, What's the Tea, and then a Happy-ish as well, just to kind of end, you know, the whole thing. So, oh, okay, this is broken. Cool. So, yeah, pulling out an angel card, so angel numbers and everything else. And yeah, these oracle cards here, if you can see them, I cannot see it on the camera because the frame's in the way, but it's fine. These oracle cards here are very much about what is going on in your love life in terms of situation. The tarot is the tarot. It's the mirror to the soul. That's what it is. So the introduction is the same. Please scoot over to your sign. I would highly recommend you watch for the sign that is your rising sign. So for example, I'm a Taurus, but my rising sign is Gemini. So I would watch for Gemini because your rising is more attuned to who you are as a person. It is more accurate, you know. And if you're not sure what your rising sign is, I would highly recommend the Chani app, or that's Channi, or you can go to Chani's website or whichever, and she does an amazing breakdown of your horoscope and your birth chart and everything, and what each house means. You know, the whole mix of your personality. She does specific readings or horoscopes in terms of the planetary alignment to your signs. So they're custom to you is what I'm saying. And it's just brilliant. I've used a lot of horoscope apps and, you know, birth chart explainers, and the Chani one is by far the best one out there. So yeah, scoot over to that. You can just use a generic kind of birth chart website and you just want your rising sign, but feel free to watch both. And before you pick your sign, I've already said take what resonates, leave what doesn't. I'm going to light a candle. So this is the Wolf Witch Apothecary. It's a rose, vanilla, jasmine botanical candle. It's vegan, it's gorgeous. I'm not affiliated with Chani or Wolf Witch. I just like using their stuff, and you can see it's pretty gorgeous. So oh, that smells amazing. We are going to take a deep breath in and breathe out. I'm going to light this flame, and you're going to say your name out loud or set an intention that you want for this reading. Oh, if I don't burn myself. There we go. Nope. Oh my goodness. I'm trying not to burn my thumb. There we go. I'm going to set that there. Tip on my thumb. That's a nice steady flame. We'll let that crack on and pick your sign. Hello my loves, welcome to your sign for Earth reading for Taurus season. There we go. We're going to start off with Capricorn, then move on to Taurus, and then Virgo. So if you are Capricorn, if you're rising Capricorn, your sun's Capricorn, let's give these cards a shake. This is your reading here. Pull you an angel card first. Oh, hello. Which one? Try that again. Yeah, it is this one. Abundance, 888, and the other one was 666. So, 888, abundance. If you can see that, where I've not got glare, there we go, that should be it. Abundance. Blessings are here and more are on the way. Let yourself feel the abundant flow of prosperity that is all around you. As you stand in your highest self, you attract all that you once were seeking. Giving is always the doorway to success. This reminds me of a saying, which is, and I'm going to absolutely butcher that because I'm getting like different segments of the saying, but it's like, oh my God, it's basically like focus on service. So it rhymes, and I can't remember the rhyming word, but it's like, if you're in a mess, focus on service kind of thing. If you are wanting abundance, focus on service. And it's not about giving to the point of exhaustion. It is about getting more into alignment with gratitude in terms of giving yourself... Oh, I'm struggling with words, Capricorn. It's like... Oh my God, it's on the tip of my tongue. But yeah, give into service. So get involved in your local community, donate to a charity, do all of that kind of stuff. That rhyme is going to come to me at like 2 o'clock in the morning. And I'm going to wake up and be like, it was this one, damn it. But yeah, the more good I do in the world, the more abundant my life grows. I radiate an energy of loving kindness. So I feel like with you, Capricorn, you kind of need to just loosen your limbs. You kind of need to shake off. Aries season was a bit tough. My throat's wanting to close a little bit, and I'm kind of losing my words, my train of thought. It's almost like I'm grappling with things. Like words are floating in the air, and I'm going, that one. Oh, this word's gone out my hand now. And that's how I feel like you've been throughout Aries season and the last kind of month, and for some of you a bit kind of longer. You know, things have been messing with you a little bit, and it's almost like do you understand what I mean? I mean, you can't confirm, but maybe you can. Say it out loud. Do you understand what I mean? That when you're at the point of exhaustion, you become dumb. Like, there's a certain point when you're so tired, you can't string a sentence together. You can't say yes or no. You can't do anything, you know, like that. That involves too much brain power. And that's kind of what I feel for you, Capricorn, in that way of, yeah. It's been a tough old time. And I think in love as well for a lot of you. As well, if you're in relationships, it's been a kind of a testing time a little bit. Go on. Whereas if you're single, it almost feels a bit, I don't know any other word to say it, but it feels a bit dry. Like, people make a lot of promises, but nothing's really happening. It's kind of like that. You know, you've been through all the apps, you've got to the end, and there's no one left to swipe against. That's what I feel. So this reading, I'm going to be looking at your love for, Taurus season. You're vocal now. Yeah. Something else wants to come out. And obviously, Taurus season, Earth, your BFF, you know. I'm telling everyone and every sign, because I feel like there's a general reading across all 12 signs, that you need to slow down and enjoy the luxuries, the little things, the micro things in life. Like, go out and literally touch some grass, smell the flowers. It's that kind of thing. You want to come out. Yeah. And you got the strength card underneath. Well, not underneath, but I split it. Because that's what it needed. So I want to kind of move you along. For every other reading, I've pretty much been doing that, but I want to kind of move you along. So, yeah, the Hierophant. I mean, this is literally is anyone naked? Okay, there's a slight naked baby. So I'm just gonna put my thumb over it. But the Hierophant is literally like the master, you know, the student and the master, but predominantly the master, the teacher, the advisor. It is that aspect within you that is all knowing. And I feel like for some of you, you've lost connection with that as well, or you're seeking that, or you're in transition to go there. And, you know, a lot of you, I meant to say a few of you, but I've said a lot, so maybe it is a lot, of you are coming to the end of some kind of learning pattern in terms of you taking a course, you're at college, night college included, you're studying a language, that you're playing a musical instrument. You're coming to the point where you're not necessarily a master at it, but you're comfortable. It no longer feels like you are the beginner or the newbie. You know, it feels like you can be there for other people if they need to, like, come over and ask advice, or how you do stuff, or whichever else. So, you know, you've come quite a long way in terms of your learning and your studying, and you've approached things with a different viewpoint. And that, you know, coincides into love as well, because, I mean, I'm also seeing the Hermit in my head, and I feel like with Taurus season, this is very much a time for you to kind of just, like, lie on the sofa. Yeah, which is not something Capricorns tend to do. They tend to, you know, want to, you know, strive forward, and we're gonna make that money, and we're gonna do, you know, this, that, and the other. And it's kind of like, do the opposite. Be the beginner again, and move. At some point, you'll be more comfortable. You won't feel guilty about resting. So, yeah, because that's literally Taurus's card. So we've got Queen of Cups. Strife, that's come up quite a lot. The Magnus, who is very naked. Nicky, these cards. And then the Works. Okay. I'm surprised the Hermit hasn't come through. No, that's fine. I was like, could it? No, absolutely fine. So, oh God, I just flashed him. There we go. So you've got the Queen of Cups as well here, which is really about going inwards. You can kind of see her face just there, maybe. And it's like she can see her own, you can see some eyes just down here. She can see her own reflection. And she doesn't need to be understood by everyone. You know, not everyone sees your full journey, your full path. They want the best for you, but they can only see within their own eyes, within their own experience, within their own boundaries, if that makes sense. Whereas you know yourself more than anyone else knows you. I nearly said knows themselves, but that's not what I meant. You know yourself more than anyone else knows you. You know what you're like. And sometimes we listen so much to these narratives of, oh, you never complete projects, or you take on so many different things, or you're always striving for this, that, and the other. You feel guilty for slowing down, whichever. And now it's time to kind of, I mean, pick what resonates. But now it's very much a time to, yes, take a breather, take a break, reflect, look at what it is you actually enjoy. But also there are things that are coming into completion. And I think you can definitely see that. And it's about kind of, I'm seeing this like graph and then this dip. And it's like you need the natural dip to happen in order to rise again. You need to refuel the tank. You need to, you need to take a little bit of a moment to pause. And yeah, going back to what I was saying about people, you know, we live by people's expectations a lot of the time. You know, when this dip kind of happens, you know the momentum is still there. You're still applying yourself. You're still doing, you know, the daily work, or the work every 2 days, or whatever it is that you're doing. It's just the speed of which has slowed down because it's Taurus season. That doesn't mean you've stopped. It doesn't mean you've not completed something. It doesn't mean you're not moving forward. And this applies very much to your love life as well. You know, just because nothing seems to be happening on the surface doesn't mean nothing is happening. You don't see everything, even though you'd very much like to. You don't, There are seeds that you've planted previously in winter and in January, and I'm seeing February quite a lot. And again, I'm getting 2018, 2017. That seems to be a important year for a lot of people watching this. But there are seeds that you planted that need time to grow. They need time to fruition. And those seeds that you planted, like here, oh my God, I nearly got the rhyme then. Oh, it's something like, if you're lost, focus on service. If you're confused, focus on service. If you're not sure what to do, focus on service. Where can you apply yourself? within the local community. It's that kind of stuff. And there's stuff that you've already done, and those seeds will continue to plant. And I feel like you're starting to just take your foot off the gas a little bit, or you've been told just to take the foot off the gas a little bit for Taurus season, because you need to, there has to be a point when you have to step back. You can't keep, okay, I've got like 7 different analogies, but let's go with this one. You can't keep trimming and pruning and changing and twisting and doing all this. There's a point where you have to step back. So like if you're trying to, let's go back to the seed analogy. If you're trying to grow a seed, yes, you plant it. You plant a couple of seeds, because the first one's not necessarily going to be successful, but you plant a couple of seeds. You change the soil, you change the pot, you water, you give it enough light, you know, what it needs. But there has to be a point where you just step back and allow that seed to grow. Does that make sense? And it's the same thing with your love life. This Taurus season is a time to look at yourself and go, what is it that I want? You could be in a relationship right now and you could be very happy in a relationship, but there'll still be things that you want to grow in your personal life. You know, we don't lose ourselves, or hopefully we don't lose ourselves in our relationships kind of thing. So yeah, and that's where I'm getting that strife, because some of you are not too reliant on your relationships or too reliant on this other person coming in and just fitting into your life. It doesn't quite work like that, but almost just too reliant on I'm getting the fairy tale, too reliant on your checklist, too reliant on love coming and acting and fitting in a certain way, and it never does. It never does. You have to let go. You have to, literally, I let go of control. Just take your hand and literally, when you feel like you're overwhelmed, I let go of control. I let go of control. That's it. Just twist your hand like that. There's a little tap, physical method. You're a little bit more physical Capricorn now in terms of like the rest of the earth signs. But yeah, I mean, you have everything at your disposal because you have the Magnus as well. Mercury, or Hermes, one of my absolute favorites. He is also the king of delusion. You know, but he has everything, you know, I'm trying not to flash him, like all the skills at his disposal. You are very, you're frugal, not in a bad way. Resourceful, that was the word I wanted to say. You're very resourceful as a sign. You know, you look for loopholes. You're very similar to Gemini in that way, and that's why the Magnus is very much a Gemini card. But you're very resourceful, and I need you to be, for Taurus season, just a bit more reflective. I should probably cover that baby up. I just realised that's there's no point covering up my thumb and then not covering up at all. But you can see from the Hierophant you have the Queen of Cups here. Twice, you know, and you have the triple symbol, and then you've got what looks like I was going to say a shamrock, but yeah, we'll go with that. You know, a 4-leaf clover. Thank you, brain. And you have, you know, good luck and the universe and everything on your side. Just take a step back. Just let go of control. You don't need to be checking all your seeds that you planted under a microscope. Just go live a little. Life is for living, you know. And I'm not saying completely don't work on whatever the project is that you have, because you have literally the works. It's the 3 of discs. But what I'm saying is it's the small consistent steps that help later on down the line. You don't have to be going 360, you know, or 180, whatever. You don't have to be going at 60 miles per hour. Pick any analogy you want. You don't have to be doing that all the time. You're just going to burn yourself out. And like things will really start to pick up for you, Capricorn, kind of later on down the year as the planets move around. We've got a couple of different exciting things, and like I feel like June is a really good month for you. Yeah, June into July is going to be where things really kind of take off, and those projects that you're doing, you know, the different things that you're taking on, the stuff at work, as well, the things that you have within your community and in your family and surrounding, those things all move you into a place of love and relationship as well. And I don't just mean that in terms of finding someone or being with someone. I mean that in terms of growing with a person as well, because that applies to all singles and couples, if that makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, put it in the comments and I'll go back. But yeah, and then you have the star, which is literally just crystallizing everything that you have now, and you are the star, and you're going back to your thoughts during Taurus season and going, okay, you know, like I said, looking at the clipboard and going, what is it that I want? What is the most important 2 traits in terms of their morals, for example, or their ethics, or whatever it is, or their 5 traits? What is it that I want? And then throwing everything else out. You don't need to be fixated on what they look like, what they sound like, all of that kind of stuff. What are their ethics and their morals? That's it. And what are yours? Because they might have changed. I'll put that over there. Put that here. So I'm going to go here in a second. But which one of you do I want to go to? I'm staring at you. What's the tea? So, what's been the tea with your love life? And where are we moving into for Taurus season? Singles. Couples. And, oh, there we go. You are greedy. You want one more. Taurus season. So, Taurus season. Moving. Yeah. I mean, this can attune to physical, moving, and actual changing. I'm seeing it moving into the unknown kind of thing, where you're maybe moving an office, moving space. Maybe you work remote and you're moving into a new cafe to work rather than your usual one. It's almost like something's up for renovation. The usual place that you go to is unavailable. It's not like a dramatic thing, but that creates serendipitous moments. I hope I said serendipitous right. But that creates serendipitous moments to put you in the pathway of your significant person, to put you in that pathway of a higher love, to put you in that pathway of friendship. And just be open to possibilities. I said this was couples, didn't I? Which does not want to turn around. Looking you up, cyber stalking, studying you, getting info. So I don't feel so much like maybe one or two of you. It's the person that you're with or that's you. But I feel like for the most part, it's an ex sort of looking you up, seeing, you know, are you genuinely as happy as you're posting on Facebook or Instagram or whatever else. And there is a little part of you, for a lot of you, just missing the romanticism of that. You don't necessarily miss the ex, but just the romanticism of that. But again, I want to go here, just moving away from that. For some of you, again, take what resonates. This is a mutual friend who's talking shit. That's what I'm hearing. It's a mutual friend who's yapping away at this ex. I'm seeing like a back being stabbed. So, like a literal, yeah. Be really careful. Be really, really careful. Some people are not, they don't have your best interests at heart. Shall I say that? Yeah. That's my couples. Singles. Karmic friends. What did I say? Can't fully trust them. Always some tension. Low-key competing with you. Okay, singles. I was just thinking, okay, maybe this just has to do with couples. No, this is singles as well. So yeah, I keep looking at that ring. There's a jealousy, and I feel like for some of you as well, if I said to you, do you have that mutual friend who always wants to one up you? You know, you could be like, oh, I had to sleep in my car last night, and they're like, well, you've got it easy. I had to sleep out in the middle of a gutter or in a car park. You know, it's always that. It's unnecessary kind of one-upmanship. You know, they have to have everything you have or better kind of thing. And we don't need these people. They're very sad and insecure and needs to sort their own life out. You don't need to be carrying them. You don't need to be carrying that friendship. We can get rid of that. We can move on from that whole thing. Yeah. Yeah, literally no facts, no, all vibes, no receipts, talking nonsense, just chap, 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 chap. Messy storyteller. Yeah. Screenshot. Cool, in 4K, saving receipts, facts over feelings. You definitely, whoever this person is, and this ex, you have the facts. Like, you have them all. Even if you don't physically have the facts, your intuition is spot on. And yeah, they're just talking nonsense. This is really ringing like alarm bells for me, and some of you really need to hear it. That friend, watch them. And look at what, not just what they're saying, but what they're doing. They do not have your best interests at heart at all. And let's put that there and give you your happy-ish for my Capricorns. Some of you are French, or you're thinking of going to France. You're thinking of just going to like Paris for the weekend or wherever. Oh. Lou? It's a place that begins with L, like L-O-U something. That's going to annoy me. I'm going to look at that later. I'm not trying to say the Louvre. It's like, it's a place in France. I don't really know France. This is temporary. Cool. Gorgeous. Where can you see this? There we go. Having the worst day, the best day, everything is temporary. And the truest, most reliable, and most beautiful fact about life is oh my God, let me start again. Everything is temporary, and the truest, most reliable, and most beautiful fact about life just might be that it hurts. And then it goes on. Don't wait for the other shoe to drop. Just know that it will. Also, who is out here dropping shoes all the time? It's that friend. It's that friend. I keep hearing this saying, I can't remember exactly how it is in Spanish, but there's a saying within my Colombian family where it's like, show me who your friends are and I'll tell you who you are. Literally, show me who your friends are and I will tell you who you are. Some of you, in order to get in that alignment with love, to get into that alignment with marriage, to have less problems, even if you're in a romantic relationship, because there's a mix here, or even a three, a three or more. I'm not judging, you do whatever. That you have to have people around you that have your back. You have to have people there to support you. And there's at least one person who does not within your group. And honestly, you're not going to be lonely. You're going to be absolutely fine if you just get rid of that person. Life is too short and you need to go and live. And Taurus season is very much a point of reflection for you. And it's very much a point of just slowing down. Smelling the roses, smelling the flowers, knowing that you will be abundant within this and you are fine. But yeah, have a bit of a cleanse when it comes to the old circle, because somebody's running their mouth. Thank you so much, Capricorn. If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe. That was a really interesting reading. And yeah, please, if this is not your rising sign, please go ahead and skip to your rising sign for slightly more accurate detail. Much appreciated. Thank you so much. Have a lovely Taurus season. Hello, my gorgeous Taurus. This is your season. I am biased because I am a Taurus and we are having a great time. We are. We're going to have a great time. It's our season. Why would we not? Ooh, hello. I missed that. 666. We're taking it. This is your angel card. Although I kind of want to be greedy and take this. Yeah, why not? I got this card for myself yesterday. 666, reflection. Can you see that? The irony that there is a literal reflection on the card. There we go. When you allow time for reflection, you allow yourself to see where inner shifts are needed. It is time for you to look at your belief and ask, is this serving me? Or is it time for me to release this? Reflect, refocus and readjust. That was a lot to say with that was a lot to say as someone who has dyslexia. Okay. As I refocus, this is your affirmation. There you go. As I refocus on what serves my highest good, I feel myself shift into my highest self. Gorgeous, gorgeous. I'm being greedy. We're having 2. 911. I've got that song in my head. What is it? I'm not singing it. So, courage. A doorway has opened for you, and while appreciation may be felt, allow courage. Oh, sorry. No. I'm not editing this out. We're going to start again because everyone makes mistakes. So, and I'm dyslexic. Let's start again. 911, courage. A doorway has opened for you, and while apprehension may be felt, allow courage to flow in as you put your best foot forward. You are being encouraged to let curiosity lead you and know that the divine has your back. Affirmation. I allow courage to prevail as curiosity leads me through new doors. There we go. So, let's take a look at us, Taurus, in our... Do you want to go your way around? No, you don't. In our season. Taurus and Taurus season. We are vibing. We're overexcited, which is not like us. Yeah, I'm going to pick another card. Okay, I'm going to pick another 2. That's fine. What's on the front? Hermit. Ruin. Okay. I have... Bear with me. You're in the wrong order. You want to go here. Okay. Taurus, when it comes to love, I know I'm giggling because it's very much me as well, but I'm hearing this a sentence. I think it's a meme as well, where someone's like, you know, if I really want to meet my Prince Charming, but in order for that to happen, they literally have to show up at my door, knock on the door, let themselves in, come in and then say, hello, I am your Prince Charming. And I'd still probably tell them to like, get lost. I'd still probably tell them to like, F off kind of thing. We are who we are, you know. But there's definitely a sense of with the Ruin and the Hermit there, we are very comfortable being alone. A lot of us as Taurus, we're not, even if you're Taurus rising, whichever, there is we need to kind of go away and recharge. We need to refuel. We need to have those moments for ourselves. Like, my favorite time is lying on the sofa, which is full of cushions and throws and like a whole snuggly back thing with my snacks, with my cat, watching TV or playing games. And this is our season to do it. And I'm telling everyone within this season that they need to slow down. And we are the masters when it comes to just taking things easy and letting things go. But part of that is also, and I'm saying this both to yourselves and to me, that our past trauma is not a reflection of the future. And yes, we have been hurt. Yes, it's more comfortable to hermit, to go inside, to lock the door, you know, and do all of that. But we do need to kind of step out of our comfort zone a little bit to, you know, flirt a little bit. We are flirty. We're a very flirty sign. Yeah. Me is kind of naked. Let's cover him up a little bit. You know, you've got peace and the Hangman, and this is really about making peace with the past, making peace where things have been at, and also having that courage and that reflection as the Hangman. You know, the Hangman is still a point of authority because he's in the shape of the number 4. I've just flashed him again, sorry. And then obviously you've got the snake coiling round. That's an ankh? Yeah? I really need to go back to the book and have a look. But, you know, the Hangman is literally pinned to his ideas, which is the set of 3, as he's in the shape of 4. So it's having the authority within yourself to be reflective, to look a different way, and having the courage to act differently, you know? and having patience. I know prudence is not quite patience, but I always, for whatever reason, see this card as patience. You can see the way that the flowers are curled over by the leaves here in order to kind of protect what we're nurturing. Yeah. And I think for a lot of you, it's great that you're at home and you're reading smut, or you're trying to build more romance into your life by having these fairy tales and fantasies and this, that, and the other. And yes, that plants seeds and allows that hope to grow. But there are other ways to reinforce love more within your life. You have the love of your friendships. You have the love of family members. You have my love as well. My gratitude and love. You know, just watching this. That's time that you have given up. Relish that and build on that. And yeah, that brings you, when we are attuned to that point, because you've got the Ace of Cups, when we are attuned to that point, you know, we are then closer and higher attuned to the energy of love. And I'm not trying to make this like a huge thing. You need to go out and go on the dating apps and go this, that, and the other. I feel like there's a lot more of you that are singles. So I'm referring more to the singles here. And there's some of you that are like going through a divorce, going through kind of movement, a separation. There's quite a few third party situations here. Taurus very much wants to be picked. It's a sign that's like, it's either me or nothing. not for everyone. There's people who are poly and whichever, absolutely fine. But there are quite a few of you, you know, watching this that are, yeah, definitely more. It's not necessarily monogamous, but you want to be picked. You want to be the main person. You want to be the chosen one, effectively. Yeah, and in order to get into that state of love, I'm not talking about a major thing. I'm saying, you know, just having a bit of a cuddle with your pet. You know, if you have a cat and they're purring away, that is a heightened sense of love. You know, if you have a dog that's so excited to see you, that's a heightened sense of love. Because, you know, we can leave the house, we can do whatever, but they are so in love and dependent on us for everything. Cats included. I don't care if they're an outside cat. They have their person, you know? And that vibration, that love brings us into a higher state of love, which then attracts love in. And I'm not talking about the living the fantasy life, and that's great. Go outside and literally relish in your season. Relish in those relationships that you do have, in that friendship. You know, go have some fun. Yeah. See things from a different perspective, like Princess of Wands. She has the Sword of Clarity. Again, you've got sword here as well, and it's really similar colors. Can you see? We're talking about kind of the blue. The swords are thinking and analytical, seeing a different perspective again, because she's getting you see the blue dress, but like she's getting rid of the thought patterns and the things that have clouded her. So if you imagine the Tower card, which I'm sure a lot of you know because you've had Tower moments, she is literally cutting away the debris that's in the sky. And swords represent intelligence. And in a lot of ways, we don't generally try to think our way into love or think our way into healing love. But this is kind of saying maybe we should do less thinking and more feeling. Yeah. Yeah, we've got wands. So the ignition here, we've got a lot of cards that are about that reflection, that thinking and having the courage to change our views here and change the things that we do. Leave the house. I'm so sorry I have to say it, and I felt like I was going to throw up saying it. But like, leave the house. Go sit in that coffee shop that you've not and you've wanted to again. You might see a really cute person working there. You know, go have a walk, an adventure. You know, have that courage to do something a little bit different. Yeah, let me cover them up. Prince of Discs. So the sturdy and the material. Again, look at the Taurus, the bull here. You know your anchor point. You know where you want to go. And there's a nice little heron there. And yeah, just try something different. And don't be so worried about everything. Don't be so wrapped up and worried about your love life. Is it going to happen? Is my partner going to become X, Y, and Z, whichever else? Everything works out. Just focus on yourself, which we can do. We can definitely do. So, I hope that was helpful. Let's pull your What the Tea card. Some of you for third party, I'm going to pull that in a second, which is the Hidden Truth card. So, my Taurus. Taurus. Let me move that here. Move those there. My Taurus singles. Same shit, different day. My Taurus couples. Wasting time. And then just generally. Look at Throth. That was literally your card. There. How cool is that? I've never seen this card. This is a really new deck. Oh, how interesting. Okay. I do want to take that. Okay, interesting. So, my singles. Same shit, different day, effectively. And this is part of, there's some of you that are really bored of the mundane. You're bored, you want that love to manifest now. It's not here. You're doing the same thing over and over. You're on the dating apps and there's no change, whichever else. And this is where I'm like, do something different. And a lot of you are doing this. I'm not the first, love tarot reading you've watched probably today or this week or whichever else. And you're constantly looking for answers. And it's getting to the point where you're confusing yourself. Sometimes we can do it too much and it ends up blocking that love, blocking that manifestation, blocking us getting into alignment as well. And sometimes if you are literally confused about, this reader says this, but the other reader says something else, whichever else, and you're getting a yes, no, maybe from your signs where you're like, the universe, I want you to show me this for yes, this for no. And then it shows you both. Do you know what I mean? It's like, that to me is a very large maybe. Like, it's in your hands, like maybe. Or you're not supposed to know right now. Because it doesn't help you to know right now. It just puts you into more of a spiral. And I feel like the universe is moving silently for you. Some of you, I'm really sorry if you've recently gone through an infection, a rash, whichever else. I don't know if I can say. I think I can swear on YouTube. Don't know if I can say sexual. Such an Irish way of being like sexual. But also some of you are scared of this as a repeated pattern because you've not been chosen, or you've been with a cheat, or you've been with someone who is unfaithful. With that. And you never deserve any of that. And again, what I said at the very beginning, your past trauma is not a reflection of your future at all. Wasting time for couples, stuck, no changes, limited, and then fishing for comments. I feel like this idea of I'm talking to a brick wall, and there has to be a point where we change what we're doing. We change the narrative. We have a different point, because we can only kind of, we can't keep forcing someone to keep talking to us. We can't keep forcing something that isn't there. We can't keep... Sometimes we have to accept people and situations for where they are. Because this literally feels like I'm just talking to a brick wall. And there'll be no response. There'll be nothing. I'm not getting anything. I'm just making myself more frustrated and everything else. Try something different. I don't know what you've done, but I feel like maybe just have some reflection time and then it will come to you. Oh, my third party people. I think only one of the other signs I did that for. There we go. Ooh, so my Taurus that are in a third party, a cheating situation. So we're going to do third party, cheating, and then anything else. So we want to go here, we want to go here, we want to go here. So third party, and then some kind of cheating. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, sorry, camera. And then anything else. Anything else. You. Oh, these upside down. Hilarious. Sometimes I stay awake thinking about you. That's you. Yeah, that's you. Third party. I'm starting to understand our connection. So that's them. No. I hide behind material things. I mean, the way that that flipped and then hid away. Yeah. Some of you do that too. It's a Taurus thing. I left when I saw you with someone. That some of you did that. I feel like for some of you, you've been blindsided by this third party kind of thing. And I want to say, yeah, I want to say move on. You deserve better. Cheating. Oh, okay, we're going here. I wish things could be different. I know I messed up everything. You came closer than anyone. Even with hearing this, it still doesn't justify their actions. And also, it's completely up to yourself. Like every relationship and every couple is different. And I can't tell you, or really I shouldn't tell you as a professional, whether to forgive someone for cheating or not. It's all a different set of circumstances. I've been cheated on. There's some, I mean, I've forgiven them all in order to move on because it helps myself. But there's one in particular that I understand why he did it. It doesn't make the situation right in terms of how I felt. And I, like a lot of Taurus, would like to just be chosen kind of thing. But actually looking back, he needed to retaliate in that way with what he was going through. But also that relationship wasn't successful and wouldn't have been successful. And actually he did me a favour. Because the ripple effect that came out of that meant, you know, that I'd changed my entire life to the point where I literally wouldn't be sat here now if that hadn't happened. And you don't see that at the time. But it's only with that reflection and having the courage to do something different and do something new and not knowing the next step. You just kind of have to trust, not just in the universe, but in yourself, that everything will be okay and you deserve better. Because you do. Taurus, you do. General, I want to feel that way again. Just being near you is intoxicating. And I love you unconditionally. This, I feel like, is you. This is that fear of not being able to be intoxicated by someone. The fear of not feeling that way that you feel for somebody else. And that you love them unconditionally. Always love people unconditionally. Always forgive. Don't necessarily forget. I am a bitter bitch. I love people unconditionally. I accept them for who they are. And that's taken and I genuinely do, because that's taken a long time to get to that point. It really has. It doesn't mean because I love someone unconditionally, it doesn't mean I want them in my life, because I love myself more. I love myself unconditionally more. And that's something you have to keep working on. And you know what? That's how you get to happiness. And that is how you bring in that love that you really want. Because we are romantics. We want the full, the fairy tale. You know, the Howl's Moving Castle, the Studio Ghibli, the Disney kind of romance and everything else. And you will get that. You will 1000% get that. Yeah, because it's a good year for us. Finally. Finally. But we need to be, it's a big thing with the earth signs in Taurus season. We need to be reflective, but we need to be getting rid of people that don't serve us, that don't have our best interests at heart. And this is your season. You are fully allowed to be selfish. You are fully allowed. Ooh, don't run away. We're taking that one then. You're fully allowed to be selfish. You're fully allowed to put yourself first. Yes. So, life is not a self-improvement exercise. You do not exist to race on a treadmill to nowhere in search of optimization and advancement. You do not have to see your setbacks as a setup for a comeback or alchemize your struggles into something shiny. Not everything is a life lesson meant to turn you into your best self. Some things just suck, and they do. And whatever it is you've been through, there's still a part of you that will carry that, definitely, is what I'm getting in the reading. Is put it to bed. It sucks. The end. We're not rereading the same chapter. We're not rereading the same book. We're not reliving this. We're moving on. This is our season to thrive. We're making changes. We're doing things different. We're getting out more. We're not hermiting. Get up and do things that you enjoy. Not because you think that, oh, I'm my future person, I see them loving rock climbing, so I'm going to go do rock climbing. And then you find out you freaking hate rock climbing. You're allowed to hate things or not enjoy things that your partner enjoys. You don't always have to like all the same things. Yes, some things are nice, and doing things sometimes are nice. But if you do something that you don't enjoy, you're just telling the universe to send you more things to not enjoy. Does that make sense? Do things that you enjoy and trust that you will meet your person, you will fall in love, you will have everything that you want and that you need. Have the best season, Taurus, and just allow yourself to glow and to shine. If you enjoyed this reading, please like and subscribe so I can keep making some more. And thank you so much. That was a really interesting reading and we've got a good season. Thank you. Bye. Hello, my lovely Virgos. Thank you so much for joining. I'm going to pull your angel card first. I just want to say already, some of you are looking to travel or you're wanting to travel. There's travel on the horizon. It might just kind of appear out of nowhere. And it's fun. It's an adventure. And I think for some of you, you're like, oh, I really don't want to go to this place. For whatever reason. Really don't want to go on this hike. I really don't want to go do this. Go do it and you will have the best time. You will literally have the best time. Allow life to surprise you. Instead of trying to control and preempt everything. And predict everything, which is, slightly ironic because you're watching a tarot video, but try and let go a little bit. Here is your angel card. Something was shouting at me. There we go. Ooh. If 1, 2, 3, 4 on the back, you can go Google that meaning, but that was definitely like a password almost for someone watching this. So 1212, excuse me. Duality. I now have that Slipknot song in my head. But within you are shadows of dark and beams of light. The divine is reminding you to embrace the duality that is your individual spark. The spark is being ignited and is ready to illuminate the path ahead. I'm going to say that one more time. The spark is being ignited and is ready to illuminate the path ahead. Your affirmation. I fully embrace who I am and allow change where it is needed. I trust the duality within me. Oh, we've got some themes. We've got some themes for Taurus season. Taurus season is making everyone slow down. And earth signs, you are being reflective. I mean, you thrive in your earth seasons. But Virgo, you're definitely ones that kind of similar to Capricorn in the way that not that you don't necessarily like to slow down. It's just more a case of you like to preempt and be in control and you'll catastrophize almost and then kind of try and prepare for 1,200 different scenarios. And then you always, not always actually, but most of the time, get caught off by this one scenario over here. And then part of you gets annoyed because you're like, I knew it. So we're looking at your love for Taurus season. Some of you are going to be like doing a cooking course, like making pasta. Oh, okay, fine. Fine, you can have the top one. Ace of Cups. Prince of Cups. Swiftness. Strength. Wealth. Prince of Swords. Yeah. There's a common theme within the earth signs to be like cutting people out that don't serve you. Cutting, I think for you guys, it's cutting ideas. The way you think, the way you perceive certain things. The way you try and anticipate somebody's next move. What they're going to do. You know, how things work out. We need to be not doing that. And allowing for people to come forward as their best selves. And you are a very sensitive sign. You are a sign that does try to look for the best in others. But sometimes it's almost like I'm seeing someone, a Virgo in my life, who, you know, someone will say it's me. I'll go up to them and be like, can we talk? And they'll immediately take a second, and then they're like in full guard. You can see their body is tense, the back is straight, the arms are out. And if they were in a full knight's thing or just were surrounded by a shield, I wouldn't be surprised. Kind of thing, because it's almost like, yes, of course you can talk, but also let me get my protection up. Let me get my shell up. Let me anticipate this. And I want to be like, just be vulnerable. I know you hate that word, but just be open to possibilities and be vulnerable and allow life to surprise you. Allow people to surprise you. You know, be a bit of a nomad. And this is where that traveling comes along as well, because I feel like for some of you, it's allowing to be carried by the universe, allowing to be carried by joy. When you pull on, I call it the thread of life, which is joy. It's like a golden thread, and you just pull it, you know. And that could be, I'm going to take a pottery class. I'm going to cook this meal that I love. It's from my childhood. I'm going to make another cup of tea. I'm going to have a face mask. You're just, all of these things, you're pulling on that thread of joy, and the universe goes, oh, okay, more joy. Sure, here you go, more love, more joy, more everything. And that's it. That's all like manifestation or whatever it is. And I feel like there's a mix between the singles and the couples here. And the singles, some of you are being nosy and you're trying to preempt and be like, oh, I'm just curious. I wonder what's happening for us as a couple. Just stop watching tarot readings and go enjoy your relationship. Go enjoy your time together. Go enjoy your space. Whereas some of you singles, oh, how interesting. Okay. Some of you singles just need to take a step down. Take a step back, look at the small, look at the micro, and allow people to come forward, and you will know, not just by like the words that they say, but how they say it, what they're not saying as well. You will know their intentions, and if they're lying. You will know if somebody is trying to pull the wool over your eyes, kind of thing. If somebody's trying to blindside you. I'll say this, and this also goes because they keep looking at swiftness and thinking about third-party situations or sort of dating and people just not being upfront with you. You know, allow people to overtalk themselves into a corner and ask those probing questions, which you're very good at doing. Yeah, and this comes from friends as well. I feel like you definitely need, with the swiftness here in this situation, you have everything. You have all the balls in your court, all the coins in your purse. You have everything. You have that strength. You have that wonderful life coming in, and the wonderful life that you have now. But not everybody has your back. Not everybody has your best intentions. And I feel like the difference is with you, Virgo, because I am saying this for earth signs, I think the difference is with you is people tend to try and keep you small in order to make themselves feel better. Yeah. And you see it. You see the narcissists. You see the people who don't have those intentions. And just because they're family doesn't mean you need to have them around. I'm sorry, it doesn't. It really doesn't. You need to set a couple more boundaries with people. and your intuition is very strong. And all of this for Taurus season is about getting you into a point, into a state to raise your love and your vibration and bring love in. I'm not seeing love for those singles. Love, excuse me, love or a new love coming in for you. This season for you is about slowing down. It's not necessarily stopping, but it's about, what's the word? Like, it's like stock taking almost. Re-looking at, all right, what is the reality of all the situations? And let's not predict the future. I feel like for some of you, you're not supposed to know. Excuse me. Some of you, you're not supposed to know who your future person is. And that's why you keep getting, you know, yes, no, maybe signs, like signs all over the place. Like one answer's over here and then a contradictory answer is over here. And that is literally just to throw you off the scent. That's all that is. Because you're not getting, oh, need to break the table. You're not getting straightforward answers. And you're not supposed to. You're genuinely not supposed to. I'm just going to fix this table with this. That's fine. No, we're good. We've preempted disaster. Maybe that's a sign for you. Don't be preempting disaster. Things are not as bad as they seem. So, Virgo. What's the tea? That's my singles. That's my couples. Okay, it's my third parties. Somebody's cheating or has been cheating. I feel like I'm not saying this, you know, for a couple or whichever else. Like, if there's a cheating going on, you already know about it. Your intuition already told you. Yeah. People aren't being forthright with you. You have an incredible power, Virgo. A power to see things, and you have a really strong moral compass. Your justice. You're quite literal justice. So, yeah. People are sometimes afraid of your moral wrath, I'm going to say. Did I do this as singles? I feel like I did this as singles. Yes. Can I have that word on there? What an image with that word. Couples. Okay. And then everything else. That is coming up quite a lot for people. So are these. So this one's new. Yeah. I feel like that's very... I feel like I don't need to fully explain that for my singles. Yeah. But I will say... Is it what I'm thinking? Yeah, it is. So, for some of you, it's that thing where I was saying about how people are, you know, trying to get a rise out of you, or they're trying to get things out of you, and you're literally just being like, no, blocked. Or it's like, you know, you say, it's very specific, but you say you're going to be platonic friends with somebody you've dated, and then they keep trying to be sexual with you, or whichever else, and you're very much being like, no, we are platonic or nothing. This is what we agreed. You know, this is more from my singles. There's also this aspect of you are blocking yourself from what you want from that manifestation. So just take a step. Take a step. Just because you're not actively journaling or meditating or whatever else doesn't mean you're not healing spiritually. There's a time and a place for all of those things, and stop putting so much pressure on yourself. Couples. This is more, I mean, in two things. One, this aspect, I think Taurus had that as well, where you feel like you're just talking to a brick wall when it comes to your partner. Like the perfect example where they're not listening. So like you might say to them, do they want one toast or two toasts? And they'll say yes. And you're like, no. Did you want one slice of toast or two slices of toast? And they'll say yes. And you're like, no. Do you want one slice of toast or two slices of toast? Will you listen? And then they're like, oh, yeah, two. It's like that scenario that I'm getting in my head. It's not necessarily fishing for comments, it's more a case of just the feeling of not being listened to or being half listened to. And I feel like for a lot of you, I mean, you are making it more dramatic than it needs to be, but your partner just doesn't necessarily have the scope. It's not necessarily a reflection on you, but they just don't necessarily have the mental capacity in this moment to be completely there for you. And you kind of have to take a different approach in that way. Did I say this for third party? I did, didn't I? Yeah, this is, do what you want. Do exactly what you want. But yeah, I'd be really cautious when it comes to a third party situation. And you can't force people to love you. You can't force people to choose you. You can't force people to be there when you really need them to be there. You can't. And some of you are creating drama, which is not aligned with you, Virgo. Some of you are creating drama in order to get attention. You don't need to. Move away. Move away. And this, move in silence. Just move away. It doesn't necessarily have to be a complete ghost or whatever else, but just move away. Just concentrate more on your spiritual healing. And then, this is what I was talking about kind of earlier, making assumptions, creating stories. It's kind of that assuming what's coming and trying to protect yourself from what's coming. You don't need to be vulnerable. I'm going to, how are we for time? Yeah. For my third party peoples, let's get you. So what does your third party person, your focus, what do they want to say? 1, I want to get 3. 2, 3. I keep getting this idea that someone is lying. Like they're just going to set themselves up or trap themselves in their own lie. Finding out the truth crushed me. Don't react when people mention you. You both know I'm not the one for you. I mean, I was asking for this in terms of like, what would your third party person say to you? What would your person who is in that third party situation say to you? Finding out the truth. I feel like this is slightly, because this feels more off. This is more you finding out the truth. I feel like some of you have been blindsided by a third party situation. Yeah, and this is them. They don't react when people mention you, but there's like an overwhelming sense of guilt that I'm feeling with this card. And then we both know I'm not the one for you. Move on. Move on. You don't need it. You don't need that person. Move on. You deserve to be loved and to be chosen. So we're moving on. Moving on up. And what does Virgo need in terms of their happyish card to help them with Taurus season? Yeah, I'm not seeing, oh, hello, thank you. I'm not seeing, a love coming in for you this season. But I feel like there's so much, that's nice. There's so much time for you to just break away and stop and slow down and really look at the things that you want and get rid of people that you don't need. Yeah. You're learning. Put that there so you can read it. When you were a baby, your first steps ended with you flat on your butt or face. The first words you said were just gibberish, and you had to learn literally everything you know how to do right now, like paying taxes, boo, and buying a car and recognizing what foods need to be refrigerated right after opening. Just because you're taller and have bills to pay doesn't mean you have to be an instant expert at everything. You're a former baby, a former kid, and you're still learning. That's what you really need, and that's what you need to embrace this season, Virgo. I feel like I've broken my table. No, we're fine. Yeah, that's what you need, and just to understand that you are both that duality, that light and dark, and really focus on yourself. Really focus on every aspect of yourself. Allow yourself to be vulnerable, as well as to set those boundaries in and know that you are worth somebody fully committing to you, fully listening to you, fully being there for you. And that is your reading. I hope that was helpful. Please like and subscribe. There's loads of other readings and stuff that I have on my channel. yeah, feel free to comment and I can clarify anything, because I tend to, as I'm reading, and sometimes there's like 7 different things that want to come out at once, and other times it's like I'm forgetting, or I lose the message as it kind of leaves my body and out my mouth. So, and there's quite a few of you watching, so that's really cute. But yeah, thank you so much. Have a gorgeous Taurus season.